when I look at this album, right, I like it a lot because I feel like this is the closest that he got to really showing us himself as he is now.
True.
And the only thing I didn't like is that he didn't do more of it. I felt like, okay, if you're gonna do this Toxicity, lean full into it. I mean, with this, you might as well mention her name. You should have made the whole song about her. Like, just fucking do it.
I fully agree with you there. But for me to like a little different, I wanted him to lean into who he is and explore that and go into that, and
that's what I'm saying.
Not necessarily call out people, but really, not dissect. Not
444.
No.
What?
No, not 444. More just lean into that. You don't necessarily need to mention people, but really dissect or get into why you are explain why.
He did.
I don't feel like he did. I think he was very surface on this.
I saw his game last night. He didn't score.
That doesn't explain shit.
Yes, it does. You don't understand. It does. It does.
For you, it probably maybe does.
That says everything. He's a fucking loser. I can't even score. You're gonna date him. I'm Drake. That's the explanation.
That is not the answer. I'm Drake should not be the answer. That is a
that's what he did.
You haven't explored what you are and how you think as a person.
I think he told us everything. I'm serious. It's
surface level. I'm Drake.
It could have been more. It could have been more.
Yeah.
But I think he gave us sort of the frustration, the pain of like, okay, I've. It's like we watched this. Jeff was showing me videos of people and shit before you can.
No, there was I can explain it real quick. There was a video of a YouTuber who explored and talked about the fact that Drake in his earlier years was basically shunned by hip hop. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be a rapper, but everybody basically said, "Nah, you are not because you're an actor. You're Jewish. You're Jewish. You're half black, half white.
Yeah.
You're Canadian. You don't fit in what hip hop is, and you should not be hip hop." So how he described it is basically Drake was in a high school that would be hip hop. Drake tried to be at a cool table. He always got shunned, but he always came back. At some time, he basically took over the school, but he is still the same kid that tried and become cool. So he is cool, but he's not cool.
Basically,
he is
kind of.
Yeah. I think
he's cool, but he's not cool.
I see what he was saying. It's sort of like, okay, and people forget that, right? If you remember up until Nothing Was the Same, it was like, oh, he doesn't really rap. Oh, he's fake. Oh, his stories aren't real. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's Jewish. Oh, he's Canadian. Oh, he's a nerd. Yeah. Or he's corny. Or he's emotional. It was just every hate.
Corny.
And he had to sort of pile through that with just raw talent and gift. Like, he had to make almost, that might have been what made him, because his music had to be that good. I've said this tons of times. You people are going to hate me, but I'm going to do it. Kendrick Lamar is the exact opposite. Yes. Kendrick Lamar could come out and just say nothing, and people are like, "Oh my god, oh my wow," because he's from Compton, and oh my god, and he had the image, so he didn't have to do that much.
Because if you
he has got to do everything, and
if you take that same analogy, basically Kendrick from the day he came into the school was immediately sat at the table.
Exact opposite.
He sat at the table with the cool people, and he didn't even need to do anything.
He didn't even release music yet. They said, "Yo, him."
Yes,
we like him. The whole thing.
Yes. So the reason why I showed him that video was basically to explain, I did not, I know that all that happened. Yeah. It just didn't click for me until I heard this album. Because he, in this album, is the most him that he has been for a long, long time. And he can do that because he is at the top. Mm-hmm. So he can do whatever the fuck he wants, and he chose to do this. Like, before I thought about that, I was gonna say on this podcast, I want him to do a Dark Twisted Fantasy or 444, but I don't think he has to do that. I think he needs to do this.
I respond to that.
Yeah, but I think he needs to do this, but he needs to he needs to do this, but with more polish. I think this album is very good. The polish misses. There's too many songs. For me, it's too unfocused.
It's scattered. Yeah.
It's scattered. If he focuses this, he would be, in my opinion, very close to his own version of what a 444 or Dark Twisted or whatever.
This feels like Donda, by the way.
What?
Donda. This feels like Donda.
A little bit.
It sounds good.
Donda was even more superficial.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Say nothing.
No, but I mean, still.
It's a little scattered. Yeah, I see what you mean.
My response is, yes, it should be more polished, but when I listen to this, I say, this was the 444. Y'all just don't like his 444.
That very well maybe.
Because y'all are thinking he's not Jay-Z. He's never going to have the same stories or the same. He's not Kendrick Lamar. This is him. He's the dude who got bullied and made fun of and was even slapped by P. Diddy once apparently.
100%.
And got pissed on by someone, like all this other shit.
Wow.
And then just with pure raw talent became the dude that, if you want a song to work, you have to call him. See? So that he just gained the power through the business stuff, which is why I think if you look at all the shit, why the business was always a little bit more ahead than other people.
Yeah.
The marketing was a little bit more ahead.
Yeah.
The music was a little bit more ahead because he had to do that. He had to fucking do Afrobeat and do all this other shit to make it because he couldn't do it another way. Now he gets to that position, done, and the energy very much is, I tie it into everything. I tie it into, and I want to talk to you guys about that too. What do you guys think of his look? Why is no one's talking about that?
I want to go there, but I think you're completely right. In a couple years, we might see this as his version of 444. But the reason why I think it doesn't resonate for people is because he doesn't explore the parts where he has been ignored by everybody. He doesn't go into that. He's very much on the surface level, up top.
He does.
I'm the richest and whatever. But I don't see him really digging deep into any of that.
He used to be the very vulnerable and emotional guy, right?
He lost all of that when he got big.
He used to be seen like that, right? And the vulnerable part, at least, that was seen as him being corny. Now you have an album where he's more toxic. Wouldn't you think if he was able to do any and everything he wanted to do, why wasn't he vulnerable here? As vulnerable as at the beginning.
He's the same, you say he was vulnerable, and when vulnerable, I see that people thought he was corny because that's what the internet basically was exclaiming. Yeah. He's the same way. He's still, I don't want to say corny, but it is kind of corny. He's still that same dude, but the only thing that has changed now is he can say, I'm rich, I'm the biggest. So he's doing the exact same thing. But
what is the problem? That's why I don't get from you people.
I don't see it as a problem.
Well, what my thing is this, but I'm tying it into everything.
Yeah.
Right? I'm tying it into the hair.
I'm gonna pick up look.
The hair. Mm-hmm. The I noticed it first, and when I watched the music
you want to
video,
get into the video?
Well, the first time I noticed it is when he did that one too. But first time I noticed is when he did the Chicago freestyle video, and he had earrings for the first time. And then he got the braids,
nail polish.
Changed the whole look. And I was saying, okay, this is part of it. This is going like, why is he doing more? He's going almost like more, with the teeth and all the shit that he's doing. Is actually more. It's getting rougher and more aggressive and more street. Whereas if you go to his older shit, he was more polished.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it ties in with the whole new identity. And that's why I'm like, if you take that into account, if you take it that way, I'm like, listen, I get it. Like you said, bullied and ostracized from the game, and then he gets to a certain point where he's that dude, and now it's fuck y'all, I'm rich, I have money, I'm gonna braid my hair, I wear fucking big chains, and fuck you, and I get it.
I do everything I want.
I do whatever I want, and I'm gonna do it the way I like to do it, right? And if people, but that also, but mm-hmm. there is a pain there, there is a frustration there, and you see it when you get into things like the shit that went down with Joe Budden, which we'll get into later.
Yeah, his look. I see what you mean now with his look, because
even the clothes,
it didn't really click for me or anything. But yes,
clothes, the grills.
He's being the same dude he wanted to be before, but now
they didn't let him, and now he's doing it.
Now he's doing it. Yeah.
If he would have dressed like this in 2012,
he would be kicked out.
They would have killed him. They would have said, no way. Remember when he did the headlines video and he has that shot where he's with all the dudes and he has the hand gloves on? Yeah. They shot on that. They said, why are you trying to be tough? You're not tough.
Yeah. Let me get that video.
Even that, they didn't let him do that. Even here, where he was doing all of this. See, here this was even more polished. He's wearing a polo. Yeah. It's normal, it's regular. But then he has this scene in it where he's with the dudes and he has the hand gloves on. You'll see it later. But yeah, there. It was there, yeah. Yeah, here, this type of shit, right? Like this type of shit, they were saying, oh, this is not you, or you're not hard, and this is that. Yeah. Imagine if he would have, done this then.
Yeah.
They would have completely killed him. So he had to sort of, there's a link. But now he's like, I'm that dude, I can do whatever I want, I can dress whatever I want, I can say whatever I want, I can do. And he's just fucking doing it. I think it's terrific. But I love the toxicity.
I see what you mean.
I love music from people that are broken.
Yeah.
Then I like, and everyone. I feel like everyone.
What's the reason?
I think it's more real because I think everybody's broken. So I think if you give me some
agree.
shit,
no, I agree.
If you give me some shit as a person that's not broken, you're lying.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I have a problem with a lot of.
You mean too polished? If you basically,
hey, it's a preference. Like I like music from broken people as well. I fucked with Kanye for a long time before he went too far off the deep edge. But at some point,
I wouldn't say that's the type of music he's referring to.
Also,
like the Doctors of Fantasy, that was a broken Kanye.
Yeah, but there's different.
I think before also.
There's different.
But Doctors of Fantasy was a broken Kanye, completely broken.
Before he was also not really.
And I think it was his most broken.
But that's true. That's true. Yeah, that was the most. Yeah,
fair,
that was the
fair.
most. That was the most. That was the
so
most.
that's why I liked him.
But afterwards, I liked enough of his later shit as well. As much as he likes to believe that I don't like Future, I like some of Future shit. It's not like I like everything. But yeah, I like broken people as well. But he has a different appreciation for that.
Is Future broken?
100%.
Very much. Future is very disturbed.
He's very
toxic, right?
Not even just he's just problems.
People just don't listen. People don't listen to the man's lyrics. If you listen to his lyrics, it's really dark. That's why I said. And Drake has said this himself. I don't want to go into a Future rant, but Drake has said himself that Future has been a big influence for his music since Take Care. Future was an influence for Take Care, even.
Yeah,
sort of the dark, dirty sprite. The Future's been doing emotional, dark rap. I'm on drugs, girls or not, but I'm fucking two girls at the same time, so whatever. This same the energy.
He's always been the same.
Drake has now started. That's why I like what would Pluto do. I like the song.
Yeah,
but also kind of tells you like, yo, I'm now like him. And if you think about it, a lot of these.
Future wasn't he always though? Wasn't he always though?
Future would diss.
Wasn't he always? Wasn't he always though?
Drake
wasn't he always what?
He was always inspired by him, but now he's become like him. The shit like Future has been dissing Rihanna and stuff like doing stuff like that.
Yeah. He's been doing stuff for forever. Yeah.
Being mad, messed up, and toxic with women and this. Yeah. He been doing that. Mm-hmm. And with the hair and with the he just started dressing like him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love every second of it. The music could have been a little bit more polished and better. I've given my critiques.
Yeah.
But the sentiment, which that's why I'm saying this, because I think that was the biggest critique.